Hey guys, how are you? How are you guys doing? Want to make sure. Let me just double check on my setups here. Yeah, okay. Just need to pop over here. Hey guys, how are you guys doing? It's me again. Okay, so it's working. My hair's still wet. You can see that I'm out of the shower, and I hope my volume is good. Is my sound loud enough to you guys? I hope so. It sounded good on my computer anyway before I muted it. So we have, thank you for tuning in. We have the lovely mod Isadora Smith. And yes, please do like, subscribe, and share. And I'm going to be taking a few questions that you might have for yourself, like this question about moving from Sanity Clause. Thank you so much for also your donation. And also, Gina, thank you so much. Um, and I will pull a card. Okay, I've got you both starred. So that works out. It looks like now it's auto starring, or unless, I don't know. I don't think Isadora can star these, but it's auto starring your questions. So that's good. I'm feeling kind of lethargic the last few days, but it's like I'm pushing myself. I think I need to get back to taking my vitamins. I really do. I'm going to be taking a look at not only your questions, but I'm going to be looking at, I wanted to do a little bit more of a look at Netanyahu and his fate. Um, I wanted to look at his ending because I have some questions there. Um, so I'm going to get my deck. Got it. I've got to get my sip of coffee. Right. And oh, here we go. Getting there, getting there. Oh, you can't start. Okay. I just never know if they have connected us up yet or not. I didn't think so because I didn't mark anything, see anything. Otherwise, I would totally have you do it. Yeah. All right. Anyway, so we are going to be looking at, I'll look at some of your questions firstly. Um, love a reading regarding my move. I have to find a new apartment by the end of the month. Thanks. Sanity clause. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at that sanity clause. So I'm going to ask my higher self and my mentors on the other side to help me read accurately and clearly in the Holy Spirit. I like the Holy Spirit, and I've had dreams of the Holy Spirit. So that's one of the reasons why I choose to connect. Oh, okay, or try to anyway. Um, all right. Still getting settled here. All right. There we go. So let's take a look for Sanity Clause. They are moving at the end of the month. Will they find the apartment they need to find? And let's just put that out there in the universe for you. Okay, let's all lift that up and say, you are going to find the right place. Put some positive energy toward it. Whatever you do, worry and fear rob you of the energy that you need to look for a place. So don't allow that to tax you. Okay? Try not to anyway. I know that's so easy to say. Maya, you have to look at the post from Keith Edwards. Okay, hold me to that after I do this. I'm going to look at the post. I love Keith Edwards. I do. I like watching him. Sometimes he gets my nerves a little bit, but I do like him. Um, I think most people get on my nerves a little bit. I get on my own nerves a little bit. Who am I kidding? All right. So let's just see. Can we get the bird's eye lowdown? Are you going to help Sanity Claus to help find the apartment? Yes, no. By the end of the month, how does that look? What do they need to know? All right, let's see what we get. Oh, I'm a little stiff today. I don't know why. We've had really warm weather out here in Northern California. So nice. Okay. Well, I get the Emperor. Oh, and I get the Devil. This is something with authority here. I don't know if like this is the person you've been renting from, but there was something unfair here. This looks like corruption. um, so I'm feeling like there's some negative, corrupt energy around possibly an older male. I see this anxiety here for you and doing the work to find one, to find an apartment. And I think that's really positive to see because I think that is what the you need to do. I do get a King of Swords and a Knight of Wands. I get some sort of enthusiasm around a male here to do with this move, another male. I think there might be a place that they find. There's some kind of an issue here going on also with the personal boundaries, space. Um, I think with the place that you were living in, is that accurate, Sanity Claus? I wonder why I'm seeing this. But anyway, I do see like it's really difficult and it's not easy, but I think with this Ace of Wands you will find something. Um, that you will find a place. Yes. Okay. Six of Wands and the World. There's the move, and I feel like it's completion. So I do think that you will end up finding a place. But it looks like there was something around a male energy that was a problem. No issues of personal boundaries here. Okay. Not sure what that's about, but it looks like it. It looks like you get positive cards for finding a place. Let me just give it one more go. You want to move because your lease is up? Yeah, and it's time, huh? So why don't I'm going to ask to get kind of the just a lowdown view of it, or not a lowdown, high above view, an overview of your move, and if there's anything we need to know about it. Because I do think there's another place. I think it's just the time. The lease is up. It's time for you to shift. And I do think you will find another place. You're retiring, don't want to stay in the immediate area. No reason to stay here if I'm no longer working here. Got it. That's maybe why I saw also the world, because that feels like to me when I see it, I feel like it's dealing with movement and travel. It feels like it's further out of the way, not local. So that makes me feel like you will go further out from wherever you're currently at. Um, let's see. I think that you need to realize that you definitely have uh, variety to choose from, um, and not to, just to remain open. And you don't have to do anything a way that somebody else might tell you to do this. Just keep that in mind that there's other alternatives, other places. To me, it just feels like you can go from to a better place. place that you like better? The Lovers? Yes. And the Eight of Pentacles. Again, I feel like this is putting in the effort to find a harmonious place, a choice that is harmonious with the lovers. And there you are putting in, I feel like, looking into the details, putting in the footwork. The routine when you're moving. Queen of Wands. And once again, I just feel like there's something about opening up. And yes, broadening, because this can be where we don't broaden our horizons, our mind, our thinking enough, and we kind of close ourselves off with the Eight of Swords. And I just feel like there's an expansion for you. So that makes sense that you're broadening your search. Definitely do that, and don't limit yourself. Think outside the box. That's good. So let me just highlight your comment that you're broadening your search and looking further north. And I think that's really good, because that is what I'm feeling like. You need more variety in the places that you're looking, and to not limit your own uh, search or what you are thinking of. Be open. Um, King of Cups and two men and a King of Pentacles and the Chariot. And there's moving. And I just feel like, yeah, these could be people that you deal with in order to find a place, but I feel like you're moving with the Chariot and the Magician, manifesting the place that you need. And there might be some assistance by a couple of male people that are involved that you'll talk to. Maybe they have advice, or they've heard of a place, or something along that line. And then I feel like you must see something you like, because I feel like there is going forward manifesting here with the Magician and the Chariot, and there's the move. So yeah, I think you will definitely find a place, but definitely keep open seems to be an important message. So you're tracking, you're on point. Okay, Gina. Alrighty. Hi, Maya. Would you please pull a card on my Cancer man? Oh yes, I forgot. And I should be focusing on for the next few months or so. And I should be focusing on for the next few months or so. Let me see. You're welcome, Sanity Claus. So I see that as a positive. Yes, I see that you will. Short answer. But again, just make sure you don't limit yourself. Keep open. And it sounds like you're doing that. All right, let's take a look. I'm going to clear the deck for Gina. And you're asking about this Cancer fellow. And should you focus on it? I guess is the question for the next few months or so. What my Cancer man and I should be focusing on. Okay. All right. So looking at your mate, Gina, your friend, your Cancer man, and asking, what do Gina and her Cancer man need to be focusing on for the next few months or so together? You're welcome, Gina. And then after Gina, I'm going to take a look at Keith's page and see if I can pull it up here so you guys can see it too. And we will discuss. All right. What should Gina and her Cancer fella focus on together for the next few months or so? Oh, this is interesting. This is dealing to me with a lot of spiritual work and intuitive work, maybe, with the moon and this Seven of Cups. It's like a variety. Once again, I know I really did shuffle, but I feel like you were being encouraged to expand your horizons where I think your intuitive energies are concerned, and dreams, maybe even dreams, visions. It feels like very spiritual work with those two cards. Let me pull a couple more. The Sun, yes, and independent efforts. Um, I just feel like there's enrichment of by also by environment, and I'm feeling like natural environments like gardens and things like that, getting out in nature as well. Very clear with the sun and its positive energy. So the energy between you looks really good. And it's just like enrichment. But I feel like dealing with intuition and also dealing with fears and things that might come up where it could be like a subconscious fears or things like that that are kind of hidden but pop up. That could be part of it. I got to get a tissue because my allergies are so bad today. But I feel like between the sun and the moon here, you go from dark to light. And it's dealing with some shadow stuff and dealing with trusting your own intuition, development in more perhaps unusual open ways. And there is clarity. It brings clarity. There's greater understanding by doing so. So I think trusting your intuition, dealing with hidden, perhaps, paths to explore, kind of conking that on the head and getting clear on it. And it feels like more confidence after that. Feels so confident with that sun and that nine of pentacles afterward, too. Confidence in your own intuition and your own ability, um, and sensitivity. Couple more cards. You know, around a female, there is some sort of a loss, but there's clarity where a loss is concerned that is coming. And I think also the need, what you need to let go of and move on to and work on with the, let's see, Eight of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles, two eights. So there's some sort of effort, some sort of energy um, where I think there's really great change and expansion and clarity that in the next 2 months, the two of you will work on somehow, open up and clarify things. I don't understand what this is with this female energy, but there's clarity somewhere where a loss or some disappointment is concerned for a female. Maybe it's a friend that you guys know. I don't know. Or if it's something that you both are dealing with. But I see there's an effort to move on. And, there's certain things, like it could be like even just disappointments with people or something. And you let go of it and you move on is kind of what I get. Ace of Cups and the Five of Swords. I would say if there is someone giving you guys trouble, this might be some back and forth going on. But I think that with the Ace of Cups, there's an opening up of emotion here. And it just feels like someone's actions might be a little bit over the top. What do I get with that too? Yeah, there's a fluctuating energy. And the Queen of Cups here with the Two of Pentacles. So you'll be juggling things, fluctuating. And I also think maybe a little bit of travel. There might be a couple places that you guys go to. Does it make sense? I'm glad it does because I have no idea and I can only hope it does. But I see a decision will come up, okay? And you kind of get to a point where the two of you are going to be making a decision about something um where you felt maybe stuck. So there's a choice. And I think holding some people to account. Big changes, big transformative time coming ahead, but it's all good and you're tracking as well. And I was going to ask if there was an ex-wife. I'm so glad you said this because I thought I saw something like that in the cards. Have ex-wife medical condition requires organ transplant. Oh, God bless. And is taking a toll on everyone. Oh, and she's currently counting her losses and we're all trying to help her see the gains. Okay, that makes sense because I do get another female in there. Um, and maybe that's the one, the clarity with the Queen of Swords. And you know, I think you keep working because I do think that with judgment, there is kind of like a reckoning. I think that you might make a breakthrough. So don't give up. You know, none of us are guaranteed an easy life here. Every day, we never know whether it's going to be good, bad, or indifferent, and we just have to make the most of it. So good luck to her. God bless her, and definitely all of you having to um, you know, try and help her get through that difficult time. All right. Let's take a look at, let's see if I can find it. Um, Keith. Keith's page was it? What's his name? I'm blanking on it. I can't believe it. Let me just roll back. Anyway, I'll see. Let me just go over here. Actually, see if I can pick up his latest post. All right. Keith, where are you? Ah, Keith Edwards, C-SPAN host was shocked. I said it on, was this it? Was no, that was from 7 hours ago. That can't be it. What was it? Yeah, Keith Edwards. I blank when I get on screen. Oh, okay. I'll take that next in a minute. Let me see. Keith Edwards. What was the most recent post of his? Let me just take a look. Oh, was it Netanyahu is about to cause mass fatalities? That must be it. So I don't know what he's. So Netanyahu, is that it? About ready to cause mass casualties? Oh, and happy Women's Day. Hello. Happy Women's Day to everyone. Um, what Bibi wants to do to the Middle East. Oh, turn it into some sort of like Gaza. That's what it seems like, because he's looking to. Let me just see if I can see what he says. He just posted a video that is frankly alarming, to put it lightly. Netanyahu did, where he could very well do the unthinkable. Oh, nukes. That's what you must be talking about. He could do something that hasn't been done in nearly a century. And what are we going to do about it? That's my question to you, because they are also trying to get us to be on board with that. They're trying to manufacture consent, and they're doing it on Fox News. They know what let's see, they want to kill as many people as possible, and they will do anything to do it, expand their power, borders, and they're getting a complete rubber stamp from our government. Yeah. Lindsey Graham trying to prepare us for what's to come. All right. Military strikes that debilitate Iran's regime. In the next 2 weeks, there's something coming. We're going to blow the hell out of these people. The regime is in a death row now. It's going to be on its knees. It's going to fall. And when it falls, we're going to have peace like no other time. Oh, for goodness sake. That's really horrid. All right, let's take a look. Next 2 weeks, they're going to attack, it looks like, some big attackment. This is just not good. This is probably why I am getting all of that bad info with the cards showing that they are going to have this blow up in their face. Democrats criticize this operation. They didn't do a damn thing. These men and women should make, and he gets cut off, and Edwards is saying that's not how you achieve peace. That's just not how it works. And you might be able to stop people for a limited amount of time, but war is truly not the answer. Certainly not what Netanyahu is proposing, which is this. To do next in Iran, we have a detailed plan with many surprises to destabilize the regime and enable change. We have many more targets, and I will not elaborate on them here. But the Revolutionary Guard operatives, those who oppress the Iranian people in the streets, I will say only this: you are also in our sights. Those who lay down their weapons will not be harmed. Those who do not, their blood is on their own heads. And to the Iranian people, I say, I've been speaking to you. This is Netanyahu, and for you for decades. The moment of truth is approaching, because we do not seek to divide Iran, we seek to liberate it, to free it from the burden of tyranny and live in peace with its people. But at the end of the day, the liberation from tyranny, that liberation depends on you, the brave and resilient Iranian people, if you believe that you should stand firm. The moment of truth, the day will not be far when Israel and Iran will become close friends. And it's nukes. Edwards is saying he does believe it could be some kind of nuke, tactical, and just a humanitarian catastrophe. And that would not surprise me. Sad to say. All the politicians need to stop taking PAC money. Agreed. And especially we got to get these Democrats out, like Hakeem Jeffries that do. Ugh, I don't mean to shake my table. It gets close to my bed and it gets shifted. Let's take a look at that situation in the next couple weeks. What is going to go down? What do we need to be aware of with Netanyahu and his actions? And probably America too, because Trump just rubber stamps whatever he wants to do. Because I'm sure that they have got Epstein information on Trump. They can get him to do whatever they want. Let's take a look. I'm just working to clear the deck from the few readings I just did. All right. Is Netanyahu going to use some sort of nuke in the next 2 weeks? Or just maybe a really, really horrible, relentless assault of various targets? But it sure sounds like he's threatening to use a more serious weapon, shall we say. Is he going to use nukes? I'm just going to ask. Is he going to use nukes? Yes or no? I'm also going to get. I just thought. I scooched all my pillows and I've made. There it is. There's the other deck I was looking for. Yes, no deck. I'm still working on priming it, getting it shuffled enough to read with. Okay. Let's see what I get. I get the Wheel of Fortune. We do get change. Something that is karmically connected. Wheel of Fortune. Oh, God. Wheel of Fortune and Death. I don't like that. I don't know what he's going to use, to be fair, to be honest, but it looks like it's going to cause a lot of death. And I feel like with the wheel on the Wheel of Fortune, I think these are the targets, these are the places, this is movement, mobilization, and I feel they're going to cause a lot of death. And there's an ending. Um, and I would suppose that if you used, no matter what, a very serious kind of assault, nukes or not, I think it would definitely cause that. Acting career. Got it. It's automatically doing it, so it's starred. I'll get to your questions, but I don't think this looks good, guys. I don't know what he's going to use in the next couple of weeks, but it looks like mass death. And I kept getting that, and I keep getting stuff about children. And I'm afraid that what they are going to do is cause more displaced people. I kept getting that as well in my readings prior to all this going down here recently, just today. Um, it just gets worse by the day. And we are going to have this because we are going through a dark time to get to the light. I get a Queen of Wands. I just get a feminine energy here that is numbed. I don't know who this is or who it represents. It could be a female leader that's just stunned. Maybe even disconnected, numb. It just feels numb. There will be a ton of it. Yeah, and you know what? There already are. We are not hearing about it. And there already are people trying to get out of these places because they're afraid of what's going to continue to happen. And especially now, this is going to cause a lot of people. I mean, I would be getting the Sam heck out of there. Um, yeah, again, I don't like this Ten of Swords and Temperance. There is some extreme here that's going to have to come into play to stop this extreme, rather. I feel like there's got to be a leveling hand, a hand that mediates this extreme. I sense destruction. I sense an ending and a new day that dawns after a painful, painful situation. It's not good. And it's some sort of an extreme. I don't know whether it's like an extreme type of weapon or just an extreme type of an attack, but it does show up as something that brings, I think, a great deal of death in. Ugh, that death energy is super heavy. Yes, I think they are going to definitely look to take, I feel like, the targets that they want. And it looks harrowing with the nine of wands. Um, I feel like a lot of injured people as well. And I feel like this is money maybe that will go toward maybe people start fundraising for those that are caught up in this mess that they're creating. Let me get a sip of coffee. I get over and over again warning about we need to learn to take care of those who are like children, even if they aren't children. Let's say they're elderly and, they need care like a child needs care. Um, the least. We need to get back as a world to looking after the least, because what is it that they say about a society? It's really true. How we treat the least is how a society should be looked at as successful or not. And ours are not successful. Ours are throwaway society. Yeah, okay. And Air Living says, I'm sorry, Air Being says, I feel so bad for all those people and children in the region. Gina says, I can suggest a few things for you because I am familiar with career choice, improv groups, mime troops, Shakespeare in the Park. Oh, I'd love to see that. Great way to meet talent agency scouts. Ooh, you know what? Connect up. Yes, improv groups. I am liking your advice. So let me just go back to those that have. Okay, we've got another two questions. I'm going to go to Alberta Thomas. Will I win my case slip in fall in 2022? Okay, let's take a look, and then I'll go to Irving. Irving, I hope I'm saying your nickname right. I don't like the cards where Netanyahu is concerned and his alliances. King of Cups and the Lovers. Ah, my face is so itchy today. Sorry, guys. It's like spring in Northern California right now. My sinuses the last few days, terrible. But I don't want to complain because you know what? I'm not under snow or tornadoes. Not asking for the universe for any tests. Okay. Again, the light is on children. Look at that. With the sun and the innocent ones, little ones, the page of cups. I keep getting pages, you know? And the fool and lots of and the six of cups, lots of childlike energy with this war that's going to be really a shameful legacy. um yeah, he's up to no good, and I see him bringing death and destruction. And if I had family there, I'd say get out any way that you can. I am not kidding. He wants to be the winner here. He wants everyone to see what a top alpha dude BB feels like. He is top dog, and he wants the accolades. He wants this attention. It's making him feel like a big leader with the emperor and this really excessive overreach with the strength card. And he needs to be brought under control. He totally needs to be brought under control. All right. So now I'm going to go to Alberta Thomas and her case of if she's going to win her slip case, her case slip. Sorry. Will she win her case slip? Just want to make sure I really get these. Thanks for hanging out. Um, I like to mix in the personal questions that people have with current events. I think that people can play this later and find the areas that they're interested in hearing about if they don't want to listen to other people's questions and whatnot. But often there's a message in there for us. So I find it for myself as well to be true, even though I'm the one doing the reading. There's always something to consider. So put it on the old mental shelf. All right, let's take a look at Alberta. Is she going to win her slip case? All right, I think we've given a darn good shuffle. I get the Fool. I feel like, yes, there's a new start. It feels light. Look at the colors. We have yellow. I know that my green screen is always comes through my cards, but this is a very bright card, and it really feels positive there. Yes, and you get another page. So again, about a new start, a new activity with the page. I think so. This, I think, bodes pretty well for that. There is some sort of a new beginning, a new adventure, a new time, a new chapter for you. Definitely pursue it. Queen of Pentacles and the Eight of Cups. Being maybe finally able to walk away from something, moving on. So maybe you'll be able to win that and feel like you've moved on from it. Yeah, there is. And then I get another female here, and I don't know if these are children or just something new that's coming up with a Queen of Cups and a Page of Cups. Let me check my. Oh, I don't want to. If I accidentally close myself out because I've got this really sensitive new mouse, don't panic. I'll pop back on because I've closed out my windows before when I'm doing stuff with this new mouse. Oh, hi, Wounded Healer. Don't we just love Mercury in retrograde? For real. You should read in your favor. No worries about my name. All good. Thank you, Air Being. It's just the anticipation of not pronouncing it right and then not pronouncing it right on camera. I'm a goof. Anyway, I see that I think there's new starts for you, Alberta. And I don't know if you're going to be going into some sort of, what is this? Pulling back from standard or typical ways of doing things here with that Hierophant and the Hermit, because the Hierophant and the Hermit are interesting. They're both spiritual, but the Hermit is more of a mystic and more reflective. So I feel like there's something about faith or a change also from kind of like updating your life. Does that make sense? It feels like you go from old school to kind of expanding your thinking or, off the beaten track a little bit because the Hierophant is typically established ways of thinking and patterns. And the Hermit is the one that goes kind of off the beaten track on their own exploration um, and reflective thinking. It's not so typical of what's out there, doing their own gig, kind of, doing your own thing, going your own path, exploring your own path. So you've got a new beginning and exploring your own path. I think that you'll get this. I would be shocked if you didn't, because you've got some sort of new experiences and adventure where you kind of just take a leap of faith. And I feel like there's just changes coming for you. So, Alberta, I hope that's helpful. Okay, now AirVing. And thank you so much for the donations. It's very helpful. We always put more money into these channels than we make. Okay. Hi, Maya. What should I do to have successful acting career? I am in New York. New York City. That's so cool. I love New York. Okay. And you know what? I'm wearing a New York shirt actually. That's funny. I just thought of that. See? 100 years. Yes, New York. See, it's meant to be. It's meant to be. Oh, please. I'm so anxious that I might close out my window. All right. Let's take a look, Air Being, about the acting. All right. I've got to get to my boxes where all my other cards are, you guys. Okay. Let's take a look. Yeah, isn't that funny? I thought, what shirt am I going to wear? Because, so I take my shower and I'm getting my clothes together, and I thought, I almost didn't pick it. I thought, no, I like how soft it is. And it's just the right thing, not too hot, too cold. I'd be comfortable. All right. So let's see. What is up for Air Being with their acting? Successful acting career. What would be the advice there? And definitely take Gina up on her offer, because that is kismet right there as well. There's another, like me wearing this shirt, her having that information. What can it hurt, you know? Thank you, Wounded Healer. Thank you so much. Yo, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. All right. I I miss you guys. I like doing this. It's just I need the energy. And my stomach's been playing me up, so I didn't feel that great recently. Kind of lethargic. But today it's like, nope. The last week I've been more determined. All right, I'm just trying to kind of get into your vibe. New York and acting, successful acting career. It also depends on what kind of acting, you want to do. Um, but let's just see. Maybe it will direct us to something that would be more suited, you know, for you. Irving, New York. Where are you in New York? Yeah, I mean, like I don't want your address, but like what borough? One of my girlfriends, one of my best girlfriends, is from Queens. Anyway, I have great affection for New Yorkers. All right, let's see. All right. Okay, we get the hangman. Okay, you need to take a different look. We got a lot going on here. You've got looking at something from a different perspective, flipping it. Bear's doing all right. She was just up snuggling with me. Getting lots of snuggles. That's what I'm getting. Lots of kitty cat snuggles. But I think that where acting is concerned, there is kind of looking at something from a different perspective outside from your own perspective. Okay, something about that with the hanged man. And there's completion of something here. I don't know if this is like you've delayed putting off school or doing something, but it looks like something's going to be completed there. You're in Elmont, New York. It borders on Queens. Ah, you're in Long Island. I was just reading about a case out of Long Island. Anyway, I'll talk about that later. But it looks like go for something different from what you're used to. This is like you got to flip the script. Pardon the pun. But looking from a completely different perspective, maybe doing things like the improv or whatever it is that you've put off, maybe not been able to get to yet, um, where acting is concerned or types of acting, because I think it's something different and it changes your perspective. It broadens it. And there is some kind of a completion connected with this. It's good, by the way, all right? Because it looks like there's a timeline opening up for some kind of a completion of information, of understanding, of training, and, the element and the arts of acting. I really think so. Something good there. But it's like it's time for something to be revisited or to, if not revisited, to be considered and like shifting your perspective, taking on something that is very much out of your comfort zone, something that you wouldn't think to do. Nothing too crazy, but I just feel like it's flexing. It's helping you to do what you want to do, which is to grow in your strength and as an actor. And part of that track is going to get active again, going from, I think, a pause, and it gives you a moment to kind of open up and consider different perspectives, different outside of the box, open flow. It's not shut down. This is flowing. This is going. And this is completion. This is freedom. Because this is the last card in the deck. See, the tarot starts with the Fool who starts out on the journey. And the journey ends with the World card. That's the last card in the deck. So you are in a polishing up kind of a phase here. And I just think taking on, I would say, work that is, or lessons that help you to get outside the box and outside of anything that you feel like you've kind of nailed down. There is the need to expand and go for a completely different perspective that stretches you. You know what I'm saying? If only I could just telepathically send the vibe to you. And you're saying that, yes, outside the box for sure. Okay, the devil, don't be tempted by, I think, there's outside the box message again, but this is being controlled. And this can be negative habits. It can be our negative habit of saying, I can't do that. Or it can be just negative habits that we allow to distract us from doing something that's more positive and keeping us grounded. You're getting it? Okay. So, any kind of negative things where we go to overindulgence, uh, or we disempower ourselves, we're not doing that. No, no, no. Because often, when someone overindulges either in a bad habit, no matter what it is, it disempowers them because we're just unfortunately, I mean, we all do it. We do something it's a maladaptive coping mechanism. So check yourself when you go toward maladaptive coping mechanisms. It can be flights of fancy, whimsical stuff with this energy here, but don't become a slave to it. You have to uh, release the bonds that are holding you back. And it is the negative that is going to hold you down. Um, that has to be, you have to take back your power. The devil's always going to be about taking back your power. And not giving in to negative coping mechanisms, going outside of the box, confronting fears. The devil's also about fear. That's how the devil controls people. So open that up a bit, but mindfully. But I feel like you're going to do that anyway because of the hangman. The hangman is aware. That's why he's got the halo, the glowing light of awareness around him, despite the fact he's hanging upside down. He's not uncomfortable here. And there isn't a sense of discomfort. This is a sense of like, at last we're getting on to that next chapter. It feels more like completion. Okay, this is cool. And here we have the old school training and ways of thinking with the Hierophant saying, you have to do it this way. Very tried and true method, you know. And here is thinking outside the box. So when we put these two together, I feel like this has its place, but don't allow it to control the whole thing. I think you have to be open to inspiration, and this is the spotlight, maybe being more of a lead with the issue of a spotlight here, because the star, maybe be the star, maybe be the lead role, or do things more adventurous where acting is concerned, roles that are more challenging, and maybe looking into different rules of thinking or school of thought in acting. Really explore the greats as well as the new thinkers out there. I feel like you need to look at both old school and new school with that Hierophant, and I feel like with the card of the Hangman. Hey Ash, how are you? I saw that I want to get to look at your Lady Gaga music that you were putting out. I saw you posted. So I think outside the box, stretch your wings, take on maybe more lead work. Don't let bad habits take you off track. Too much partying, overindulgence, feeling that you're not good enough, all that. And contact Gina here. All right. And I see socializing. This is celebration with the Three of Cups and the Nine of Wands. It's not easy. I can't imagine, but I think you're going to make it. Make sure that you hold your boundaries with the Nine of Wands. Don't let people run over the top of you. And don't give up too easily. You have to kind of fight for it. But I see success, and probably more success than you thought possible. So positive thinking, not not magical thinking in the way of like I'm going to not do anything and just think that I'm going to make some big thing. It's work, but it's the part of the journey, part of the goal is the journey to get there. So there's so much that you learn along the way. Just as much as your goal is to be successful, enjoy each moment of what you're learning and keep open and go for things you wouldn't normally go for. Okay? All right. Oh, and thank you, Ash. Will my health issues get better soon? Oh, babe, I'm so sorry. You don't know what's going on. It could be MRSA or something caused by high stress. Do you have, you know, there's currently in California um, a virus going around that's knocking people on their butts. It's not COVID, but I think that it might have more of a respiratory aspect because they showed that. You're welcome. You're welcome, Air Being. keep me in the loop about your efforts. I think it's so fascinating. I took acting in high school and I really enjoyed it. Let's see, Ash. Let's take a look at your health. No matter what, whether, um, if you've taken a hit with your immune system from stress, I think healing supplements are really important, like it can be iron and vitamin A and C. Yes, sending you prayers, lifting you up, all who are not feeling well. If you're tuning in, just a group lift of everyone's concerns right now. I don't know. It's possible that it could be what it is. It's going around. I would definitely, number one, go see a doctor, get an appointment. And I know anytime having to do anything medical in this country is, you know, put off to the last because it's so damned expensive. But this is nothing to toy around with. And I think, if nothing else, then for peace of mind, you need to know, you need to have information, Ash. So if I was you, definitely, yes, and vitamin D, thank you. I did, that's right. And vitamin D3 and K combinations and the omegas. Also high protein, lean protein. All right, let's see, Ash. Let's see your health. What does he need to know about his health? And is he going to be feeling better soon? Ash. And I'm sending you angels. Okay. Oh, good. Luckily, my doctors are amazing here where you're at, New Jersey. Yeah, I get a lot of people that really like living there, have good things to say about it. I don't think it's pneumonia, thank goodness, but it is kicking your ass for sure. Yes, I mean, this was something was just on here, and it wouldn't surprise me one bit if it's this virus. There's a certain name for it. But anyway, there's a lot of viruses out right now. Weathers, people have been, stuck around each other, especially where it's colder. Um, okay. Now, this could be a doctor. I get a King of Wands and someone that is keeping an eye on the future and also something preventative. This makes me feel like you could go and see an adult male here. Maybe that's one of your doctors. I'm so glad you got good health care where you're at and that you've got people that you trust to see. Yeah, I see that you're fighting something. All right. This makes me feel like your body is fighting some sort of virus or infection. And I think it's getting you depressed. And that can happen. I can get really depressed and sad when I get sick. And it annoys me even more about myself. But I think you need to go see a doctor. I think you are fighting something and you should have maybe your throat swabbed, or your sinus, something tested out to make sure if you think that it might be infection, like if it's not pneumonia, maybe it's bronchitis, or maybe you're kind of on the, precipice there. No matter what, go in and have it checked. I see it feels like your body's fighting a little war in there and it's draining you with that five. There also it's two fives, by the way. Both are challenging numbers. Okay. You get a Queen of Pentacles, a King of Cups, and I get the card of the Eight of Cups and a Queen of Cups. What are all these people? Is somebody moving on? Also, oh, that could also be some sort of neglect. Maybe these are people that you're around. I'm not sure. But I get like three adults, uh, two women, and a male energy. But you're the King of Cups, aren't you? You're not wrong. It's been making me feel sad and irritated. Oh, I'm so sorry. I hate it when people don't feel good. I wanted to be a nurse. Um, you know, let's see here. Tower and the Chariot. Yeah, this is a big reset button to slow down. Um, and mind your direction where you're putting your energy. I definitely think you need to see a doctor, not to scare you, but I think in order to take care of this, um, because I don't think it would be a good idea to continue to wait. I think this is something that needs to be interrupted. Knight of Cups. Yeah, I see you worrying. Also, maybe having trouble sleeping with this. That would make sense. I think there's also maybe I'm feeling like they'll be able to give you medication that might be able to help you rest. Because the antibiotics, if you have an infection or if you need medicines for drying up your sinuses a bit, whatever, I have a feeling you're going to be needing to rest. Almost like medicine to rest. I'm going to go to the doctor in the morning. I'm glad because I see an active fight going on. And to me as a mom, when I look at that, it's like, reminds me of when I was a kid, my mom would say, yeah, it's like you got a little war going on in there. You might have a temperature. So make sure you keep, and you've had sleep issues because of it. Make sure that you start monitoring your temperature. If you can get one of those digital thermometers that you put in your mouth, because a lot of times they will want to know if you're running a temperature. So my feeling is it looks like your body is fighting something. You're having trouble to rest. You might need something to help you with that. I feel like there is going to be overcoming this with the help, I think, and advice of possibly like nurses, doctors, helping you with that care, giving you advice. Yeah. Here's the, I feel like, absolute complete crap, Five of Pentacles, and maybe finally turning the corner on it with this energy, this card of the Knight of Wands. I also feel like this is a message to take action if you're not feeling well, if you're feeling run down, beaten up. And it shows winter time as well. It just makes me feel like this is some kind of nasty bug that could create a secondary infection, maybe even. You know how that can happen. So we don't want it to go continue. And luckily, I have a week off from college this week. You're on spring break. Definitely take it and baby yourself. Go to the doctor, um, get some supplements. Definitely Vit C and iron. Iron and Vit C are good. And I would recommend leafy greens if you can do that. Omegas. Oh, yes. And you know what? A lot of people don't think about lysine. That is zinc and lysine. Very good for our immune systems. People that get cold sores take lysine. My mom gets them. I don't, but lysine and zinc. I need to do that now. I need to reset my supplement box. All right. So I think that you will get better. I'm just going to focus on that. one more time on Ash getting better. Will Ash be getting better in the next few weeks? And the people that had this, oh yes, this was the other thing, said it took them a long time to get over it, like about a month. Seriously, like 2 to 3 weeks. From what I was watching. I was just like, ugh. Yeah, I took lysine and ester C to get better. Yes, continue with that. Because whatever your body doesn't need, you're just going to pee out. It's not going to hurt you. Just keep doing it every day. And definitely D3, because a lot of us don't get enough sunlight. So let's just see. I want to see if you're going to be feeling better in the next 2 weeks. Yes, no. If he sees a doctor, will he be feeling better in the next few weeks? Because this thing's apparently just, it lingers. Yeah, I think so. 10 of Pentacles. And I think you will be moving on from it in the next couple of weeks. And you might get that energy back. This just makes me feel, for some reason, when I look at it just intuitively, that 10 of Pentacles is like your energy is more at a 10 or will come back up higher, your physical energy. 2 of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles. Yes. But I think it's through seeing someone and maybe getting some medicine, that kind of thing. Your body just might need a little bit of an edge. And if you have a sore throat, there is a gargle that, see if you can get it prescribed. Not all will do it. I think it's called chlorhexidrine gluconate. I will put a link in the comment section below after the live for that. It's something, so we'll get the exact name, but we should all have it. It will help you to get over, like if you got a seriously like sore throat, mouth ulcers, that stuff does good work. All right. So yes, I think that you will be getting better. Okay. But I think that it will be a couple of weeks. If you get medicine, I think you'll be feeling better. Okay. All right. So that is that. Let's take a look at something else. Let's take a look. I know. Let me get a sip of my coffee. I want to look at BB, his end. And I want to take a look at Savannah Guthrie's mother, Nancy Guthrie, if she's going to be found in the relatively near future. I hope so. I'm glad. I'm just tired of feeling like this. Yes. And that was also something that people were saying, that this was just knocked them on their butt, freaked them out a bit. They thought, well, this isn't COVID, but what is this? And apparently this stuff can linger. So no matter what, I think your body's fighting something, and go in and see your doctor. I think, if anything, also for peace of mind, I think when we go, at least we get some information. We feel like we're doing something, like we're getting some answers. All right, let's take a look. Now, Bibi Netanyahu is a Libra, and he has a Libra sun and moon, if you can believe it or not. So he is definitely a King of Swords. But let's just see. What is his end? What is that going to look like? What, how does he pass? Because he does have a pacemaker. Let's just take a look at Bibi's health, the way we look at Trump. What do we need to be aware of? How is he going to exit? I know it's a macabre question, but these people are so god awful. Hmm. Well, here he's doing that conservative nonsense. He's working, or there's work that's being done with regard to what he's been up to. It feels like this is rules and like regulations. And I think it's somebody working on something with regard to him. I would really love to learn much more about other nations, their laws and government, how they work. But I feel like there is something that's going to be going on within the government system, and there's changes. I feel like things that are going to be added that are showing up, and I don't know why it's coming up when I ask about his end, but it is. We're getting that old school uh, way of understanding, teaching, rules, regulations. I feel like somebody working on these, I feel like laws. I feel like there's some kind of a law. Okay. We also get, he's going to be in a state of confrontation and being confronted, people not letting him off the hook. This is also about war. And my goodness, all of the deadly activities that he's directed his military to be involved in. And we get the star. Isn't it interesting? The Star of David. I don't know, maybe I'm reaching there, and we get the star here, and we get he's going to be there's just going to be, I think, a lot of upheaval within the government. And I think he's going to make the headlines. I think this is trying to hold him to account for the things that he's done, no matter how old he is. Um, he's already, I think, like 76. He's just a little bit younger than Trump, and maybe, like I said, by 3 years or so. So we see definite fighting going on, arguing, quarreling. And I feel like it's within government. It really is going to be, I think, in the news. It's going to receive a lot of attention. Um, I think the country is wanting to change from that kind of right wing conservative way of ruling. All right. What else are we getting? We're getting a card of assistance with the Six of Pentacles. Ooh, he's going to be feeling definitely pressed with the Ten of Wands and wanting help from someone. I really think that this is being put, to account. People trying to hold him to account and him trying to wiggle out of it. I can't stand him either. I've never liked him. What he's doing to Iran and other countries is sickening. I agree. I agree. Gina says, I like that interpretation, Maya. Thank you. So he's going to be wanting help or assistance. And I think this is also aid or assistance in trying to reach people that he's made life very difficult for. So this makes me feel like more human rights violations. And that's what's going to be happening toward the end of his life. And I think it's going to be a main story with that star. It also makes me feel like there is hope for those that are wanting to oppose him and his dictator ways, because he's just as bad as Trump. It was interesting to read up a little bit on him. And Trump has been sucking up all the oxygen. I haven't been able to really learn anything else because I have constantly, every day, there's a new crisis with him. So the time and the moment and the energy to look at another place and invest the time to learn about what's going on there is kind of, getting more limited. Yeah, there is this fantasy, his whims and delusional uh, ways, and the people that support him. So I think they're going to be going after the people that helped him to get in power, to stay in power, and to avoid real responsibility. I definitely feel that vibe. We're looking at his support, his alliances, and it's like these people, they're getting more and more delusional. This world, Trump saying, I'm not going to take any, uh, you know, Trump trying to control it, Iran is a joke. They're not going to do what he wants. I can't believe he takes himself so seriously, but he does. Let's also see here. Yeah, I think this is people trying to take Bibi, bring him under control and to task. And this is a man that likes to be seen as the winner, wants attention, needs attention, um, like Trump. And he's difficult. Once again, there's a feeling with the strength card that he's like hard to nail down. Bibi asked Obama to do what he has planned years ago. Hmm. And I'm betting Obama didn't do it. But he wants control, and that's Bibi's thing. Control, 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 control. And more to be, just like Putin, just like Trump, wants to be seen as the great leader, the victorious one, and everyone's throwing him a damned parade. Um, but I think this is people like over him, wanting him to be brought to justice. That's going to stress him out. So then we get the card of the Emperor. Here we are, leadership severance with the Ace of Swords. I feel like he's going to be ousted. I think they're going to be looking at him as being too out there and lost in his own whims of, I feel like, causing World War III. So I feel like here he gets cut from power. He's not going to be able to be this authoritarian that he wants to be. That's what's coming up. And I think it could be another leader that will hold him to account. Perhaps another person within Israel that's going to be seeking to bring a different kind of government. But he definitely, I feel like, gets his power hold, like the cord pulled, severed, cut off. And we go toward prevention. Yeah, and there's I think he's just caused so much loss, mourning, and grieving. I feel that just so much death again. And with the Three of Wands, this is foresight. So, and trying to prepare. So I think that people, once again, as lame as it might sound, they don't want any more of what he has to offer leadership wise here. They are looking toward what they need to do for the future to make sure that they don't get another person just like him in after him. Um, Much like we should be doing, shoring up our laws and making sure that they're going to be carried out, and not where one party or whatever can, control everything. Praying that he is relieved of his power. I think it's definitely going to come, because this makes me feel like the world is going to change. We have justice and we have him. To me, this is holding him to some sort of legal consequence that is going to be pursued. And I'm sure, like I said, with what he's done and his way, and with Trump, I feel like he's going to be facing some sort of legal account. He's got justice, legal consequences coming to him. I think people, and once again, I don't know what the laws are there in Israel, but I think he could be taken to court. Maybe it's a world court. I don't know. But I see the law. And they're looking at his agenda, his plans, his efforts. I think investigating him. Page of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles. Probably also going to look into any kind of financial stuff, uh, business agreements, economy, looking at what he does with funding as well. Yes. I see a block coming, and it's the Two of Swords and the Six of Swords. So I feel like there's moving forward, but I feel like it's imperative that they take him to task in order for their country to move forward and to get out of this extremely um, bumpy time where he's creating all these wars. That keeps coming up. And I think people reach a point where they have to make a decision in order to move forward. So I think pursuing uh, holding him to account is going to be going on for sure. And it looks like it takes a while. Knight of Pentacles, and yeah, he's wanting to just get away with this. Um, and what he's been up to, and trying to slow down, I think, investigations, wanting to get away, wanting to not have to be held to account, trying to avoid accountability. But here's the accountability card. I think there is a male energy there that brings a reckoning. And judgment. Here's the heart health that concerns me. This is poor health and illness. I think his heart problems and complications, that come from that are going to cause him to have to definitely pull back, maybe even be hospitalized. It could be another problem with the heart and circulation. I think that these cards would show him being fairly miserable. And I feel like lethargic. So we're getting poor health. I think he's going to be pursued legally for quite some time um, over the things he's done. He's already 76. So I think his health in the relatively near future is going to plummet. There's going to be some problems there for sure with those two cards. Yeah. And I feel like it's going to be the end of an era and a very painful one, a closing out with that Ten of Swords and the Three of Pentacles. There's a team of people around, I think, his ending. But I think he's going to be pursued. BB did the same thing that DJT did, get elected to stay out of jail. Exactly. Look, here he is. Okay, yeah. He's going to be stuck. He's not going to be able to get away with this at the end of the day because I don't think he's going to be well enough. Perhaps there might be some health issues that waylay him. Um, so there's some karma there. Definitely poor health coming. Issues with probably sleep, anxiety. And now, from what I've been told, people that have heart attacks can sometimes then later suffer from things like depression and anxiety. And I'm getting that with these two cards, the Nine of Swords and the Eight and Nine of Swords, rather. He's used to getting away with stuff. And I think he too will be learning there's a limit. I feel like there's going to be other people that seek to hold him and his extremes to work this out, to bring him to account. And it could be that even if he's not well, he might be in some sort of prison or detainment of some kind, or being like his freedom is limited in some way here, not just from poor health, but I think he's also in trouble because of all the cards around him. He is an unfit person and leader. Mm-hmm. I agree. He's going to have, and again, more of his secrets are going to come out. And I feel like he really takes the biscuit with what he does. I feel like it's a really insulting behavior with the fool, the high priestess and the fool. I feel like it's a slap in the face to the people that he's a traitor to Israel. Knight of Swords, Ace of Wands. Definitely going to be pursued. That gets heated up. And new actions. I feel like legal consequences being filed, more than one thing, not just one charge. This is like a smorgasbord of violations. Yeah. This to me is like Gaza here with the Five of Pentacles and Iran and probably other countries. And there's just an outpour of emotion when it comes to how he's treated these people. So for right now, I'm being shown poor health, being held to legal consequences, and he has a day of reckoning coming. I tend to think the issues and complications from heart disease, the pacemaker, I just think that eventually there's a problem there in that area. All right. And he doesn't look very free. Even if it's just because he's not well enough to get up and around, the man is going to be stuck with his own mind. It's like in a prison of the in a prison of his own making. So does he pass? Let me just see from ill health eventually. Yes or no? Will he pass from ill health? He might just be having to spend a certain amount of time suffering from ill health too, for kind of a karmic thing. But let's just see. What takes him out at the end of the day? Is it ill health? Because I think the pressure's going to get to him. I think they're going to definitely have had enough of his. Yes, this is a yes. And this is a very fast moving night. So this could be something that when it does come on, could come on very suddenly. And we do have the Seven of Pentacles, and that is to do with like the body, material world. So I think this is a long-standing complication. And I think it's like to do with the heart. That's what has been giving him the most problem, or connected to that. Oh my God, he's just so annoying. He really, I think, is going to be seeking and asking people, I feel like, to feel sorry or for help with the Six of Pentacles and the Six of Wands. He might even be saying, I'm going to overcome this, I'm going to get better with this help, blah, blah, blah. But I don't think so. Nine of Cups and the Magician. Somebody's wish manifests. Maybe that's like, good night, Netanyahu. And this is the Wheel of Fortune and the Nine. I just got kind of a stroke feel too with that Nine of Wands, particularly. It could be that there's something in particular that's going to take him out health wise. And it could be, see the head that's bandaged? It could be something to do, like stroke wise, something to keep in mind. Comes back up, comes up. The Three of Swords and the Heart. Poor health. And perhaps not his overindulgence, I think, in whether it's violence or cupcakes, whatever. I feel that that darkness takes him down. That negative energy affects his health. So, I feel like he's also got negative entities around him. The sun and the moon. Oh, we are going to find out stuff, folks, and it's going to become clear. We're going to know. We're going to know about his health, about more of his hidden corruption. This guy does not get off easily. Well, I think we'll think he does, but I think that there's stuff that's going to take time, some time. And the amount of time that it takes to expose him this way, I think he's going to be dying. Hmm. King of Cups and Ace of Cups. I feel like this is somebody that's very upbeat to see that and to expose his secrets. Somebody telling, overflowing with info, maybe a whistleblower. But this guy is not going to have an easy death. Probably compared to some people, yes, but I feel like there's something at the end of his life here, you know. When you get cards like this, to me, this is like you got really a dark, dangerous energy around you. And it's connected, I think, to his health matters with the Three of Swords. And also his betrayal. I just feel like the way he's lived is rotten. So his health, it looks like it will be as a result of stress in his health. All right. I'm willing to leave that there. Let's just watch the space. If things continue as they have, I think he will lose the health he has currently. Because right now, apparently, he's in relatively decent health. But I see that switching. I see that changing. I see him being pursued for legal consequences. And he doesn't go quietly. But I think he's going to end up with poor health. And that will end up being the way he exits. So, and I feel like it's a big release, will be a big release to many people in his nation and the world. Because I feel like it's not only Israel and the United States, but I feel like more countries, and Russia included perhaps, are going to be looking for very different kind of leadership. I think there's going to be so much death at the end of the day from these wars and these leaders that the world's going to undergo a significant change where leadership is concerned. You're welcome. I'm just going to round this up and say that, let's see if there's anything else I need to tell you about dreams and stuff like that that I've gotten insights. I felt like there was something else I wanted to share with you guys. But basically, it's this though we're going to go through great dark night of the soul, the world. Um, we have to be holding the light here just by being the simplest task of being a decent human being during a time of great darkness where that is not the norm. And that's sad, but just maintain and be kind and do what you can do to oppose and resist this kind of cruelty and war. All right? All right. Okay. So take care and know that we are headed toward the light. That's the one thing I did want to share is that one of the dreams I've had was that we would be going from a very difficult time around the time of COVID. I had that dream where we move toward the light, and that's a golden, bright, warm, beautiful light. But it's a bit of a way to get there that's unpleasant. And that's what we're doing now. So just know that this isn't just to just give up and all that. Don't do that. And don't let them steal your peace and your hope because they're going to really try hard. All right. See you guys and send and spread love out there despite the darkness. Take care.